Nothing really matters, except one thing. And before I explain why I think only one thing really matters, and what I think that is, let me tell you about a boy. Let's call him Louie. Louie came in to my therapy practice one hot day last summer. And Louie looks like a 10-year-old version of the actor Leonardo DiCaprio. Bright blonde hair, blue eyes. He was wearing a blue shirt and grey school shorts. But Louie was sad. How you doing, Louie? Not good, Cat. I'm not good at anything. I don't like sport like the other boys. I don't know why I exist at all. Oh, and today, Cat, today, this boy Ethan, he's the most popular boy in the school. Well, it was a hot day, Cat, and I saw a bee, a tiny honeybee, and I could tell it was dehydrated. So I got some water and some sugar that was left in my pocket, and it drank, and it flew away. And then Ethan went, ha, 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 that's pathetic. Louie saved an insect. Everyone laughed. It was a bad day, Cat. As I heard Louie's story and was thinking about how I could help, it rang a bell in my mind, and I was taken back to a day when I'd been 10 years old. And if you'd been looking down on us that day, you'd see me with my pudding bowl haircut. Thanks, Mum. It was the 80s. I was wearing green shorts and a red T-shirt. And with me there was Amanda. She was a year older with short dark hair and the only one with a bike. There was Becky and Karen and a couple of boys. Amanda said, let's all play on the bike again. Go on, Becky, you get on the back. So Becky clambered on to the back of the bike with her feet on the sticky out parts of the hub of the wheel, if you remember bikes like that, and her hands on Amanda's shoulders. All right, Catherine, do you want to get on? Me, Catherine Payne, Brainy Payne's sister. Oh, okay. Where? On the front. We've done it before. Oh. So I clamber on to the front of the bike with my feet on the sticky out parts and I'm holding on behind me. And we're off. And you'd see that small bike racing along the road with the boys running behind. And I'm thinking, how far are we going to go? Because I know this road ends with a hill down towards the main road. We reach the hill. We're going faster and faster. And Amanda is desperately trying to control the bike with 3 of us on it. We swerve to the right, to the left, and then straight into a brick wall. My face hit first. Blood is pouring out of my mouth. I was lucky to walk away that day, or run away, with 2 new adult teeth gone, and a lip that needed stitches, the scar of which you can still clearly see. So why am I telling this story? I didn't want to think about that day, let alone talk about it, for years. But that day laid the foundation for my lifetime's journey to understand the human mind. Because when regressed in hypnosis during my therapy training to that moment, I knew exactly what had driven me to get on that bike. You see, I wasn't a local kid. My parents had moved there. We weren't from farming generations going back years. I'd been desperate to fit in, to belong, and that drive could have cost me my life. So, how about you? I wonder when you've been driven in some way to feel enough, to feel safe or to belong. Did it work? Now, I'd just been a child then, but this is what I know now about the human mind. We have around 70,000 thoughts a day in this incredible mind of ours. But most of these are subconscious. They churn away in the background. And this powerful subconscious mind of ours has just one main job: to keep us safe, whatever it decides that to be. And the thing that we're actually most afraid of is exactly what I was afraid of at 10 and what Louie was afraid of as well. As tribal, hunter-gatherer beings going back hundreds of generations, what we actually fear most is rejection and humiliation. And sometimes we'll do irrational, illogical things to avoid this and try to feel safe. As the clinical hypnotherapist I am now, I know that this subconscious drive often ends up having the opposite effect. My attempt to fit in that day actually caused me to stand out even more. I can't go back, but what I can do is what I do every day. My pain has become my purpose. And I work with clients of all ages whose subconscious minds are driving them into protecting behaviours that end up hurting rather than helping them. Behaviours like an inner critical voice, irrational subconscious fears, multiple anxieties. And they come to me wanting to be free from these subconscious protecting strategies. So how can they be free? And what is the one thing that really matters? Indulge me for a moment and imagine on this stage is a powerful black stallion. Just imagine it, a huge horse. It's majestic, it's strong. Just imagine how fast it can move, what it's capable of. Now, if we were going to control this incredible stallion, we would need someone in the audience to be a confident horse rider, to come down and rein in, saddle the horse to calm it down. And then imagine what that horse and rider could do together. The speeds they could move, the distances they could travel, how high they could jump. A stallion is my favourite metaphor for the subconscious mind. I would go back and say to my 10-year-old self, you have more potential than you can possibly imagine. You have within your skull the most complex structure in the known universe. We don't yet fully understand so many things about it and the untapped potential it has. But here's the thing. This stallion-like mind is strong, but it gets easily scared, and it will take over and decide things for you if you don't take control and lead it. You will all be able to imagine what I mean. You will have seen in movies a rider thrown off a scared horse, but then a different rider comes along to the same animal, can calm the horse, and make it do incredible things just minutes later. It's the same with your mind. You just have to know how to lead it to discover what it's capable of. So, we're calling this subconscious stallion-like mind that communicates through our emotions the stallion. And our human conscious mind here at the front, the frontal cortex, is the rider. It is your conscious thoughts that are giving the instructions. Shakespeare observed this when he wrote in Hamlet, "There is nothing, either good or bad, but the thinking makes it so." Everything is energy, and the only energy we can actually control is the intention of our thoughts. Our feelings and behaviours follow the lead of our thoughts. Let me demonstrate this. On the weeks to leading up to today, I frequently had times when my thoughts went along the lines of, I don't know if I can do this. What if I forget what I'm going to say and look stupid? Public speaking is most people's number one fear. What am I doing? When my thoughts were allowed to be those, my resulting feelings were panic, anxiety, fear. Then my resulting behaviours was stalling and procrastination, which could ultimately have led to me backing out and not standing here today, which would have reconfirmed my original thoughts to be correct. I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I'd fail. I knew I didn't have what it takes. Thoughts are self-fulfilling. So I'm going to teach you 5 instant, easy strategies today that you can use to ride your mind. But first of all, I need you to know that you are already naturally capable horse riders in this analogy. You already have what it takes. I know this because no one arrives on the planet with anything other than 10 out of 10 natural, innate confidence. No baby looks out at the world and thinks, I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough. Other people are better than me. No. We are all the survivors of the survivors of the survivors. Think what our ancestors have overcome for us to even exist. We are walking miracles. And you can reclaim the natural confidence you were born with when you know how. I use 5 L's to ride my mind, because the only thing that matters is how you control this subconscious mind with your conscious thoughts. The first L stands for listen. When I feel emotions, perhaps anxiety, fear, frustration, it is my inner stallion asking the question, am I safe? Can I cope with this? As the rider, it is my job to reply confidently, yes. We know that most of the time our greatest fears don't actually come true. And even if they do, we either cope with them or we ask for help. Your record for getting through difficult times is 100%. The second L stands for lead. Anyone that's ever ridden a horse will tell you that you have to be constantly giving small instructions all the time, or the horse will feel uncertain and will decide for itself what it thinks is best. You are giving instructions every minute of every day, whether you realise it or not, with how you are thinking. And you can't think not to think something, because let me demonstrate. If you tried to think, don't be nervous, it's like you're saying, don't imagine a bright pink sheep jumping all around me. I said, don't imagine a bright pink fluffy sheep jumping all around me. That's why saying don't be nervous has the opposite effect. L number 3 is look. Look over the hurdle and not at it. Horse riders know as they come up to a jump, they must look ahead at where they want to go, at where they're going to land. Life is full of obstacles to overcome, twists and turns, but all top sports people use visualization like this. Formula One drivers know to look around the bend at where they want to go and not think, don't spin off at the bend. That's not likely to end well. Look over the obstacles of life. Look around the bend at where you want to go, and your mind will lead you there. Just like my mind has followed my positive visualization and led me here. The fourth L is leap. Take the leap, and the next one, and the next one, and the one after that. We are born hardwired for meeting challenge and change. It is all we've ever done. Think of what your ancestors have overcome for you to exist. Leap for them. Leap because you're amazing. Leap because you can. Leap because it's your duty to use the potential of your unfathomable mind. You can have whatever you want if you leap over the obstacles between here and there. My leaps have brought me from that little girl who thought she was not enough to the me today who knows we all feel not enough at times, and that makes us all the same. My fifth and final L is learn. The theme of this event today is shaping tomorrow. So who can we learn from in terms of realising the potential of our mind and helping others to do the same? Let's go back first, a little 10-year-old Louie. After all, he's the next generation. Louie asked me that day, "Kat, you've said that one day I'll know I'm enough. One day I'll know I belong. How do you know that, Kat?" And I said, "Louie, you've told me today that you saved the life of a bee. What kind of person do you think the world needs more of, Louie? The kind of person who has the awareness and intelligence to do that? Or the person who chooses to be negative, bullying, or cruel? If I could go back, Louie, I would have wanted a friend at 10, just like you." I think we can all learn from Louie. I come across people who think that kind people are weak, that it's okay to use, abuse, and manipulate them to gain status and power. If we're going to shape the future we can be proud of, we need to learn from Louie. It shows an evolved state of being to look past our own fear-based ego and choose kindness, awareness, and compassion. That would shape a future I know I would want to be part of. So how about you? How will you control the only thing that really matters? How will you listen to your instinctive fears, but confidently lead your mind with innate self-belief, so you look over the obstacles of life at where you want to get to and leap and leap and leap with the conviction that you were born to thrive, while you learn from those around you who ride with love, not fear, and the desire to make a difference? Your mind is a stallion. Ride it well.